This is the part where I do an opening monologue, and usually it behooves me to actually write something or do something, but I don't do that because being prepared is for cowards, as you all know. Welcome to Tardis Wiki Roulette, the show where we spin at a wheel and then catch the feels. How are we all doing today? What was your opinion of the Doctor Who TV episode Rogue? I really liked it. I thought it was very good. But what was your opinion? Type it in the comments. Also type some suggestions for what you would like to see, so that we can get the wheel spinning. And in the meantime, I'm going to spin a few wheels of my own and just click random page on the Tardis Wiki. Oh my goodness, look at this handsome gentleman right here. Hello everyone. How are we doing? I'm seeing a couple already of little suggesty poos, which is always very exciting. Let's check this guy out though. This gentleman right here. So, this is Rose, and Rose was a virologist aboard the Ark in the 57th segment of Time. He informed Mellium that information about the common cold virus had been lost during the 10th segment. He helped the First Doctor rediscover the cure for the cold. There you go. That was a good random page to start things off with. Let's click another. Space Beacon Alpha 4. Space Beacon Alpha 4 was a space beacon built by the government while chasing the Argonite pirates led by Maurice Caven, who had destroyed beacons Alpha 1 and Alpha 7 for their Argonite. General Nikolai Hermack left St. Joe Sorba and a few other Space Corps guards aboard the beacon. The Second Doctor, Jamie McCrimmon, and Zoe Harriet landed on the beacon and were chased by Sorba and his men just before the beacon was blown up by the pirates. The pirates only blew it into individual segments. The Doctor, Jamie, and Zoe were stuck on a segment of Alpha 4 after being rescued by Milo Clancy. TV, the Space Pirates. Alright, I'm going to put some of your suggestions in the wheel now. let's get to the wheel. That was a fun start though. Let's see, because I see some good ones. I see a lot of, well, I certainly see a high volume. We'll say that. Haven't had time to look at the specifics yet, and I know what you lot are like. So, Great Detective Agency. Okay, I'll put that in. Great Detective Agency. There you go. It's in there now. Or is it? Haha! Metafiction! Huh! Boom! Ha ha ha! Ho ho! Hee hee! Hoo hoo! Ha ha! Mimic Octopus! That one, I'll put that one over there. That one wasn't on there before. Let's get this one as well. Concept ship. Concept ship. A ship made of concepts. Is it flying in a sky made of dreams? Who knows? Who dares to? You know what the next part is. Maybe we'll find out, because maybe it will land on it. On this Tardis Wiki Roulette. The Susan Diaries short story. Yeah. I'll put that one in. Haha! There we go. Taylor Swift. Oh, fantastic. Olivia Rodrigo. Okay, I will do that. There's a lot in there. Right, there we go. Let me see a couple of. God, even mention him. Loot Lake. I will put that one in. Oh, Loot Lake. I'll put that one on. Restaurant Rose. Oh no. It's either gonna be like some insane lore where it's been in like 4 different like ancillary lore stories, or it's gonna be like that page for the fucking pigeon in the Christmas Invasion, which had better stay up, by the way, because it's a goddamn masterpiece. Nigel trust me, add everything I suggested, it's worth it. I will. I'm just looking at some of the others too. I will circle back to you though, because you've always had good ones. Fourth wall. I will absolutely put them on though. Can you put Farscape on Alan, please? I can absolutely put Farscape on Alan, please. Alright, now let me swing back, because I can see there's going to be a lot. Did we not land on remake last time? Oh no. Yeah, absolutely I'll put remake in. Grand Families too. I'll put that one in too. Let's see what else we got. Canonicity. Didn't I put the War in Heaven on last week? And then it actually landed on the War in Heaven, and then I started reading it, and I was like, no. That happened, right? Because, yeah, that wasn't just like a fever dream. Good. I guess that's good. Anyway, the noodle incident. I think we already looked at the noodle incident, but I will look at it again. If it's what I think it is, then I'll absolutely look at it again. Rubos, Charm, have you seen this man? Okay. This man, and then throw a random page in there as well. There we go. And then go back down here. Tyrannosaur, deep breath. Okay. I'll whack that one in there, yeah. TARDIS revocation. Alright. I'll whack that one in there too. This is looking to be a very powerful wheel already. Xenomorph. Oh, great. Wayland Yutani Corporation. Let me pop it up here, so it's not too close to the Xenomorph one. Let me see what else we got. Mix her own adventure. Mix her own adventure. Short story. I wish there was a way to save wheels so I could like save each wheel from one week to the next, because I feel like a lot of these end up going on here each week, and I know you will want your thing to be on there, which, I mean, fair enough, really. I would too. Richard Nixon. It's a good one. Concept shop. Oh, am I a fool? Oh, that's not surprising, is it? I will find it real quick and fix it. Where is it? Go. Concept shop. Oh. Well, it appears that the typo gods have ruled in our favor today. Isn't that wonderful? Anyway, Tony Blair. Hang on. Tony Blair. And then another random page. And then what we got next? Christmas party. Consider yourself one of us. Okay. Alcestrus. And then If it lands on this, I will attempt to say it. How about that? Whoa! Whoa! It's a lot of messages I haven't read yet. Nobody. I see that one. Nobody. French Dalek illustration. Oh, that sounds good. I like the sound of that one a lot, actually. That sounds good. This feels like it's going to be a strong wheel already. I'm feeling good about this one. We did not do remake though. Oh, I'm sorry. Etheric beam locators. And the laughing gnome. Alright, so lesbian adventures. So I have a pretty strong wheel right now. If I didn't get one of yours, keep shouting it at me in the comments, because we will be taking ones off as we go, and so I will be needing new ones to add on. But in the interest of pacing, I'm going to say that we proceed now and start looking at articles. However, please keep yelling results at me, because I know I didn't get all of them. And yeah, let's start spinning the wheel. We have to be clear that Lesbian Avengers is in fact a page. I know, and I'll tell you what, I'll put it on there. Alright, let's get on with this. Can you add nothing and donkey? You know what? Feeling generous today. I feel like the wheel will crash if we put too much else on there though. So we're gonna have to burn a few off first. And then we'll add some more. So yeah, without further ado, I think we need to spin the wheel. So Alan, are you ready? I think everybody needs to say hello to Alan first. Alan is very excited to see all of you. Alan loves Tuesdays. Tuesdays are Alan's favourite day of the week. He's not the biggest fan of Mondays though. He can take or leave Wednesdays. Thursdays are alright. Fridays are, but Tuesdays today, when he's all here on Tardis Wiki Roulette. He's wearing his Tardis Wiki Roulette best. That's when he's happiest. Alright, I'll do it. I'll stop now. Oh my god, yes! Fantastic! Good things come to those who wait. Alan knows how to treat you right. Okay. Remake. Alright, remake. This one looks fun. It's short, but it's fun. Remake, also called Homo Refectus, were a human species invented by Citizen Sharp in the City of the Saved. They were created by using remembrance tanks and molded into the forms of fictional characters like Sherlock Holmes. While all were generated from human biomass, some were created in the form of aliens or animals, or even deities or superheroes. The vast majority of remakes were programmed to keep a respectful distance from the people who originally created the character they were modelled upon. However, some exceptions existed. For instance, Mr. Sherlock, an anime-inspired Sherlock Holmes, routinely went on holiday with his creator, Mr. Fujiyama. Prose, the Baker Street Doctor, and Kelly Hale's version of Holmes wrote stories with her. Prose, more tales of the city. Oh dear. Alright, as I said before, I can add a couple on if you would like me to. Or we can keep going. But I think we should probably keep going. That was a really good one though. That was a banger starting one. Let's see where we go with the next one. I'm seeing a lot of very strange choices on there. I enjoyed landing on Boris Johnson last week. That was pretty good. I felt like that. That was great larks, you know. Yeah! That is a tune! The Susan Diaries! The Diaries of Susan. Susan the Diaries. Diary of the Susan. That. Yeah. Yeah, you know what it's about. You know what time it is. Yeah. Let me just find it on the search. I found it on the search. Aren't I clever? And then I will bring it up. It is up. And then let's take a look. It's the only canon thing. How bad is this about to be? Because I haven't read a word of it yet. I'm still looking at the chat. How bad is... Susan Diaries is the most Oh, no. Okay. How much mental preparation do I need before I go into this one? Have we, once again, immediately gone off? You ain't prepared? Okay, let's dive right in then. This sounds perfect. The most canon man. I need to... The Susan Diaries. The Susan Diaries was a two-part short story published in the It's the End But column of Doctor Who magazine in 2002. A parodical account of Susan's life after the Dalek invasion of Earth. It showed her as resentful and vengeful towards the Doctor for abandoning her, as well as retroactively placing her at the forefront of several later television stories. It's good. I like that. I feel like she would be resentful. She didn't look very happy about it when he left her. I have a video about how fucked up that is. You should watch it after the stream, or during the stream if you have two screens. And then you should watch the stream on two screens. The story is notable for being one of the very few to address Susan's potential ability to regenerate, and the first to actually depict incarnations of the Susan other than the one played by Carol Ann Ford. In fact, the Susan Diaries features no fewer than 10 different versions of the titular Gallifreyan, with many of these being establishing guest characters retconned with this alternative identity. Demolition workers assigned to clear the cellar of a Shoreditch secondary school in the 1990s discover a book about the French Revolution filled with corrections and rude words in the margins. They also find stuffed in its pages a large collection of notes produced in several different formats, including handwritten, typed, printed, and quasi-hollow the latter being a process as yet unknown on Earth. The workers' astonishment continues to mount as they read what they found. On 26th of December 2164, Susan expresses her disbelief that her grandfather has dematerialized without her after his senile old brain came to the conclusion that she fancied David, whom she terms a mindless foreign basher with an even stupider accent than Yahtzee. Susan resolves to punch the Doctor very hard if she ever sees him again, though admits the possibility is unlikely given she has been stranded on a third-rate planet. On the 25th of November, 2183, Susan writes that Mr. Tyler came round to help with the babysitting as David was at yet another meeting. Later, she is kidnapped by a flying triangle while out shopping. She returns to London the next day with her memory of the previous 24 hours wiped. Susan angrily suspects the Doctor's involvement. David dies on 10th of April 2213 with Tyler moving in with Susan shortly afterwards, although she knows he won't much last longer either. On 6th of February 2221, Susan regenerates into a new form. Finding Earth boring by 2279, Susan decides to do a bit of contract space piloting with the pay lousy in her opinion, she begins raking it in with an extracurricular business. All is well until 19th of February 2281, when Susan reports that Diamond has crashed his ship into the Empress, resulting in the downfall of their entire Varax ring. Having heard from others that the person who fooled Diamond... Hang on, what is Varax? Oh my god! So Susan becomes like Walter White, basically. Oh my god. You guys. What gold have you led me to here? Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna add this one to my to-do list real quick. I'm definitely making a video about this. Oh my god. Oh. Alright. Susan regenerates again by 27th of May the same year in order to recover from withdrawal of the drug that she was dealing. Oh dear. Thanks guys. Thanks. This is amazing. Absolute gold. Thank you, Alan, as well. This is absolutely incredible. She attends a rehabilitation clinic where she meets a nice scientist. The two wed due to what Susan calls a slight indiscretion, with Susan giving birth to twins on 2nd of January 2282. 6 years later, Susan is unimpressed by the twins requesting a computer for their birthday, referring to them as mathematical little toads. In 2294, Susan is overjoyed to learn that someone has kidnapped her boys. Lowering at the silly cow at space control, she is satisfied that she will never see them again, but calls up while impersonating the president just to be sure. Susan orders space control to call off the rescue ships and orders a crate of champagne for herself in celebration. However, the doctor returns the twins home a week later while Susan is out, causing her to vow to murder him if she ever lays eyes on him again. That's fucking amazing. Oh dear. Susan regenerates for a second time in 2476 and enters into politics, noting the good money. In 2537, she is elected Earth President, armed with a cushy job, lots of power, and a rather dishy general for a chief advisor. Let's see who he is. Let's see who he is. Who's this guy? Oh! Yeah. Oh no! I think I know who she's supposed to be. Oh no. Oh. Susan reflects that this is well placed to make her grandfather suffer should her paths cross again. She is pleased, therefore, on 5th of May 2540, when he is dragged before her and accused of working for the dragons. Susan sends him away on the next shuttle to the moon, celebrating her victory by getting hammered. Please, could you turn your audio up a little more? No. No, there you go. There you go. It's up a bit now. It's up a bit now. You should be good. You should be good. Are you good? You should be good. Nice one. No worries. Okay. Let us continue. On Tardis Wiki Roulette. This is completely, like, fucked my brain. This is absolutely amazing, and I want to read all of it. Hold on. This is the best start. Oh my god. I will go for, like, till, like, past the hour, probably, and then I'll go to something else. But, this is incredible. I need to, like, do a video about this. This is absolutely incredible. Could you imagine if this is the answer to the Susan twist thing? Could you imagine if it's just her? The Doctor reappears in Susan's office a week later on 12th of May, almost causing her a heart attack, with the presence of the Dragon Prince and the already perilous political situation with them preventing her from enacting a revenge she feels just. Susan sends her grandfather off on a dangerous mission in search of a planet. To ensure its failure, she contacts the Daleks to inform them of the coordinates as soon as the Doctor's party sets off. You know what's crazy is this makes more sense than these episodes of Doctor Who do on their own. So I'm willing to say this is canon. This is certainly better than the audio they did. This is way more fun. By 2701, Susan has once again fed up with Earth and relocates to a new mining planet. On the 20th of September 2841, she begs a job as secretary to a big mining tycoon. That's a bit of a fall from president to, like, a secretary to a mining tycoon. By 2850, Susan believes Morgie to be on his way out, with Susan herself being responsible for telling the Presidium that he was the one who murdered the president. She regenerates once again to cover the tracks, subsequently returning to Earth and buying her way into the Galactic Federation with the Spectrox profits. Ah, okay. Having used her wealth to become the Earth delegate to new Federation planets, Susan visits Peladon in 3049 and is annoyed to find everyone talking about the Doctor, whom she apparently just missed, with King Pell saddened over a recent rejection. Susan spends the rest of the trip cheering him up, which she considers to be a duty of her position. Later, on 29th of March 3050, Susan gives birth to a girl, sending the little brat back to Peladon. God damn it. Regenerating again in 4598 and embarrassed at the ugliness of her new incarnation. What poor actress did they just throw under the bus? Oh! They don't. Oh. Good. Susan leaves Earth once more to live inconspicuously as a medical student on Necros. How many male children did this woman have? I know. I know. It's terrible. It's scandalous is what it is. Cheering him up. Yeah. She becomes depressed that everyone makes fun of her, as well as the fact that her head of department falsely believes she fancies him, with Susan angrily pointing out in her notes that she may be old but she is not blind. It all turns out well, however, as she is blasted by a group of Daleks in 5000, forcing another regeneration. In her new incarnation, Susan is in fact blind. Fuck! Thing is, all I have to do is, like, just tell this wiki article and, like, add some jokes and add some animations of some of this shit, and, like, it's gold content. This is amazing. This is the best thing. Fuck, Scream of the Shulker. This is incredible. Oh my god. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, guys. Susan regains her eyesight with yet another regeneration in 522. Only... Hang on, no, I need to read this bit, right? Last 2 paragraphs are the best. I can't wait. She spends a few months on Devaloka, during which time she encounters her grandfather again. Susan revels in calling him an idiot, but bemoans that her blindness prevents her from hitting him with her big stick. After the doctor leaves, Susan convinces some colonists to return to Earth and stows away with them. Who is that? Who is the blind lady? Like, who's that meant to be? Susan regains her eyesight with another regeneration in 522.6, only to discover that Earth is about to be hit by a bombardment of solar flares. The old woman again! Oh! Susan regains her eyesight with another regeneration in 522.6, only to discover that Earth is about to be hit by a bombardment of solar flares. She resolves to leave, waking up millennia later in 27593 on Nerva. Vera puts a bag of jelly babies under her nose and informs her of Noah's death, which Susan is happy will negate the chances of Vera finding out how she secured her place on the Ark. Later, she patches a communicator through to Sontar and suggests to a film major that Earth is currently ripe for invasion. 4 days later, Susan volunteers to be the first person to return to Earth after Nerva's crew fixes the transmat, musing as she activates it that hopefully her idiot grandfather remembered to stabilize the temporal circuits. The Doctor evidently did not, as Susan appears in 16th century Italy, prompting her to reiterate her intentions to kill him. She poses for a Ponzi artist who paints her picture 7 times before emigrating to Spain, whereupon she is kidnapped by a bunch of immortal weirdos who fly sailing ships around the galaxy. Acting on information that the Doctor is aboard another ship, Susan voluntarily transfers from her ship to Captain Striker's, but later learns that the Doctor went back to Captain Rack's ship on the very same ferry she had taken. Lamenting the fact that she had been stranded on an Edwardian vessel, Susan is transported to a 1906 England, along with the rest of the crew once the affair is over. Deciding it's time to get in with the rich crowd again, Susan regenerates into a young girl and gets herself adopted by a rich imperialist who owns half of India. Her adoptive father promises to take her there someday, a promise that is finally revealed on 2nd of May 1926, when her voyage begins. Susan encounters an officer aboard the ship on the first day who she quickly judges to be a tedious microbe. Oh! Around a month into the journey, on 4th of June, the Doctor re-enters Susan's life, but she becomes increasingly frustrated that every time she gets an opportunity to strangle him, they get caught in a time loop. She reflects the universe must hate her, albeit not as much as she hates him. Susan returns to England in 1940 and regenerates again into the body of a young girl, and finds her hatred for her grandfather even stronger in her new form. The following year, she is knocked out during an air raid. The 11-year-old wakes up in hospital with no memory of her identity. The nurses offer her no clues, nor does a diary on her person which she cannot make sense of. She dismisses its contents as fiction, possibly a story she was writing for her teacher at school. Her bout of amnesia long past her, the young woman once known as Susan graduates from university in the summer of 1958 and starts working as a history teacher in London in September of that year. She returns to her make-believe diary to record this achievement, also noting that she has agreed to meet the science master in the basement at morning break, calling him a bit of a dish. It's canon. It's canon. It's the most canon. Surprise, Barbara! Oh, dude. Fucking amazing, guys. Oh god, that was really good. That was really good. Just Avengers? Okay. Maybe. I'm gonna spin the wheel again now, though. is fucking amazing. It's really good. Alright, let's do this again. See what it lands on this time. Oh! It looks like it's not quite the Avengers, but it's lesbian Avengers. So there you go. Close enough, right? Why is this a page? Let's find out together. Yeah, close enough, exactly. The Lesbian Avengers were a group of lesbians. In the late 1990s, the group would attend an episode of Glamorama, filling up part of the audience. They wore satin blouses. One member, Eliza, was a fan of the lesbian novelist called Iris. No category, I guess. Let's spin the wheel again, guys. See, like, it's fun because whoops! Oh no! What a tone shift! Oh no! From lesbian Avengers to Nigel Farage. Jesus! Only on Tardis Wiki Roulette. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! The greatest adversary of the lesbian Avengers. Oh no! Hang on, let me see him. Let me see you, boy. Is that just 3 of him? It looks like it. That's him there, right? In the middle. Oh dear. Alright, let's see. Nigel Farage was an individual who pissed off Andy Hansen during 2016. Pros, Cliff Richard saves the world. Oh, that's fucking gold. It's magnificent. Oh god, behind the scenes. Oh dear. In the real world, Farage was the leader of UKIP for most of 2016, and as such was a key public figure for support for Britain leaving the European Union, Brexit in that year's referendum. The comic Remembrance, released in January 2017, depicted Britzit 247, a planet that parodied aspects of Brexit, mostly with individuals who all resembled Nigel Farage and only said the word Britzit. On 3rd of November 2023, Farage posted a photo on Twitter of himself posing with a silver Dalek. The image was taken down at a BBC stand at the Conservative Party conference in Manchester, which Farage was covering for GB News. A similar photograph was published in the Telegraph. I mean, Nigel Farage basically is a Dalek, so that tracks. Jesus Christ. He was voiced by John Colshaw in Newsboys. I gotta say, this article is like an incredible fucking takedown of Nigel Farage. Whoever wrote this, like, well done. Well done. I really like the opening that Nigel Farage was an individual who pissed off Andy Hansen during 2016. Pros, Cliff Richard saves the world. What an incredible collection of words in a magnificent order that is. Oh dear, this is amazing. Well done, guys. I think 90% of IRL politicians' articles have they were voiced by John Coleshaw at the end of them. Probably. God, the UK is cooked. Oh yeah, no, the UK is like fucked. Yeah, if you're not living in London, like, you're poorer than Mississippi. Like, for real. Look that up. That's an actual fact. It's a thing we can't deny. Because facts don't care about your feelings. And, yeah. Still got Doctor Who, I guess. I think I'm gonna cut that into a clip. I think that was pretty good. It's gonna make a good video. As a Brit, yes it is. Super cooked. Super cooked. Right, let's see where we go now. We're hoping for a main Labour Party with Lib Dem opposition. Oh man, I just hope that Frodo and Sam get the ring to Mordor. That's all I hope. That's all I hope. Better than nothing. Yeah, no, I mean, if you want to be, like, real about it, yeah. I mean, like, politics isn't one thing goes right and then everything goes right. Like, it's constant hard work, and you have to constantly, like, be working at it to make the world a better place. And a lot of people just aren't prepared to do that, you know what I mean? There's obviously probably a pathway for things to get better. I just don't know what it is. I don't know. It kind of seems like the oven has already been switched on. Poorer than Mississippi is a hell of a measurement. I know! Isn't that fucking sobering? Right? Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I think Labour is fairly anti-Brexit, aren't they? Labour are like anti-Labour some days. Like, I don't know what Labour stands for. I don't know what they could stand for. I vote for them, I don't trust them. I don't know. And I understand that it's like, it's such a horrible situation to be in where you're like, well, I mean, like, obviously I don't want the Tories to be in power anymore. But, like, I mean, look at Keir Starmer. Just look at him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he looks like an Indiana Jones villain. And he acts like an Indiana Jones villain. Labour and the Lib Dems stand for not being the Tories mainly. Oh, I agree. I'm just saying I don't like it. That's all I'm saying. But still, you know, I think we should spin the wheel again. Fuck off, Nigel Farage. Get out of here. Get out of here, you rapscallion. They're the US, there's a saying, thank God for Mississippi. Yep, thank God for Mississippi indeed. Let's spin the wheel. Yeah, it's a party. Farscape. Yeah. Farscape. Oh no, are you guys still talking about how fucked the UK is? Oh no, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. You know, there are kids being born in, like, parts of the UK outside London that are, like, smaller than kids in the rest of Europe because they just don't have access to enough nutrition. Like, it's bad. It's really fucking bad. It's great if you're, like, super rich and shit. It's awesome then. It's awesome. You know, if you're like a stockbroker or whatever, but if you're a regular person, oof. 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 Anyway, Farscape is on the wheel. Let's look up Farscape. Let's try and forget about our troubles for a moment. Farscape was a science fiction television series. In 2006, Captain Jack Harkness would not allow Das, a Neanderthal who was sent forward in time from 29185 BC, to watch the series as he did not understand the concept of science fiction. Jack was concerned that he would pick up some very mad ideas from it. This is fun. This is fun. Do I see any more wheel suggestions? Let's put Mississippi on the wheel. That's just a little treat for me. It's on there now. You can see it right there. Alright, let's spin the wheel again. What's it gonna land on, people? Alcestis! What does that mean? Why did it spin again? Alan, no! No, Alan! Alcestis. Okay, I can read this one to the end. Let's do this. Let me go on the TardisWiki thing. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's take a look. Due to being trained in the temple of the imprisoned Titans, or Chronivores, known as the Fallen, she had a facility. Alcestis was a Minoan princess native of Akrotiri. Due to being trained in the temple of the imprisoned Titans, or Chronivores, known as the Fallen, she had a facility with sensing currents in the fabric of reality. Her lifespan was also augmented by the time energy stolen by the Fallen on behalf of the people from her enemies, such as the Athenians. After the Fallen began to send demonic balls to attack the city and its surroundings, yearning to be set free rather than continue to obey the king and the priesthood, the 8th Doctor arrived and struck up a friendship with Alcestis. She was living by herself, having been ejected from the temple due to a lack of faith. The Doctor, who she had first seen paragliding down from orbit due to his ship refusing to get too close to the Fallen, taught her how to use her senses to learn how to fly and defeat the Bulls. As their relationship grew to take romantic undertones, they eventually moved into the king's palace, only to discover that the king was the mastermind behind using the Fallen's powers and manipulating time to make herself and his people live forever. Alcestis was sickened to realize that the kingdom's prosperity was born of his crime and that she herself had reaped its benefits. Even after the king was killed and the Fallen defeated, Alcestis split from the Doctor, wanting to tear the kingdom down and kill all who had been complicit in the great crime. Her attempt to kill the king's heir, Daeklon, whose lifespan had been extended to span hundreds of years without his consent, by feeding him the life force of all his siblings, was halted by the Doctor, who fatally stabbed her, though he felt conflicted about the decision. On the cusp of death, Alcestis was saved by the Fallen and transformed by them into a maddened harpy-like creature, hoping to use her as an instrument of their revenge. They locked her and the Doctor on a Prometheus-like time loop with the last of their power and revenge, hoping Alcestis would spend an eternity killing the Doctor over and over again. After hundreds of loops, however, the Doctor managed to get through to Alcestis. That's epic. With him still bleeding from an open wound in his stomach, the two of them worked together to use the crystal's power to fly out of the looped pocket reality, which collapsed behind them. After landing on the beach, Alcestis only saw in the wounded Doctor's discarded flight harness. He himself had already vanished, leaving behind a strange wheezing groaning sound. Their last exchange had been Alcestis telling him that she couldn't do things he'd done, prompting the Doctor to reply, "You never know, you might do better." The wounded Doctor then presumably regenerated into his 9th incarnation. Several accounts suggested that this version of the 8th Doctor, documented by this account, still last of his kind after making the difficult choice of destroying his home to avert a war, would go on to become what the 9th Doctor who fought with the Shauker in Alice and Cheney. What the fuck? While searching for the Doctor's grave, Bernice Summerfield visited Akrotiri and found an ancient painting of Alcestis, with an inspiration declaring that she had killed the 8th Doctor. Alcestis later aided Bernice in her war with the Diendum. Behind the scenes, although this was not made explicit in Fallen Gods, Jonathan Bloom and Kate Orman intended for Alcestis' attempted murder of the 8th Doctor to lead to his regeneration into what was then accepted as the incumbent Doctor, Richard E. Grant's 9th Doctor. Huh. That was, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. I'll be back in a second. I'm just gonna grab a drink. Just gonna refill this real quick. I'll be right back. I'm back, y'all. Did you miss me? I missed me. I miss me a lot. Oh, so, what are we looking at? Bessie come home, I'll put that in. Right. Bessie come home and Ram Ranch. Okie dokie. Alright, let's let's go. Let me just make sure the wheel is up on the thing. It is not. Oh wait, no, was I done with this one? The Alcestis one? That one's like really interesting. Really, really interesting. So like, how much other stuff was there that was like leading into like the 8th Doctor turning into like the Shauker Doctor? Because that's like wild. It's very, very crazy. All right, let's take a look. It may be bad here, but at least we can console ourselves with the fact. I don't know, man. All right, let's spin the wheel. Nobody. Look. Can't see the wheel. Oh no. Should have been able to. Well, there you go. It landed on nobody. Back to TardisWiki Wiki now. Right, nobody. When the noodle man. When the Noodle Man arrived at the door of Mrs. Furball's shop, nobody said anything, prompting nobody to retort with, "No, I didn't say anything." First narrated Ymitri Abinsymph Wongle Bongle, Doodah Dodo, Qualisin Rumpelstiltskin, Borin Don Gong, Smeghead III, pushed nobody out of the shop, but nobody knocked on the door again. So the first narrator pushed nobody down the street, then continued until nobody had been pushed out of Mrs. Furball's shop, down the street, around a corner, into the docks, and onto a ferry, heading towards Barneal on the other side of the world, onto a truck and onto a rocket at the heart of the Zargonian Empire, 10,000 million billion trillion light years away. After we all did the same shtick, nobody returned to say it. It was their line, prompting the Noodle Man to leave, as these events were too silly, even for him. Pretty good. Yeah, that was a really good one. It tripped me up there. That was funny. All right, let's take a look at another one, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Looks like it's gonna be Donkey. What's this gonna be? Donkey! Alright, let's take a look. Donkeys were beasts of burden, according to the legend of Sutek. According to the legend of Sutek, they were among the animals associated with the titular Assyrian god of evil and violence, Sutek. Other animals associated by the Egyptian tradition with the cults of Sutek included crocodiles, hippopotamuses, and pigs. In Earth's history, they were often used to pull carts. Rose Tyler rode in a donkey-drawn cart when visiting the Roman Empire in about 120 AD. The 10th Doctor, then separated from Rose, also made use of donkeys to travel. Like horses, donkeys were often kept in stables. Romans needed to keep a vast informal network of stables along well-travelled routes. This allowed passengers to rest their donkeys at regular intervals. It also gave passengers specific points at which they could negotiate for the sale or hire of donkeys. At one of these stables, the Doctor said that horses were better than donkeys, intimating that donkeys were relatively slower. Donkeys were also distinct from mules, but neither the Doctor nor any of his friends or acquaintances gave any particulars. The miller kept a donkey in his barn in 1666. When Richard Mace and the 5th Doctor visited the barn, an exhausted Mace asked the donkey if it was capable of carrying a tied thespian. The 12th Doctor befriended a donkey in Blackpool 2089. He named her Megan. During Christmas, donkeys would be present on Blackpool's Golden Mile. A poster for Shrek was pinned to the wall of the children's ward in St Helens Hospital. In early 21st century Cardiff, it featured a donkey. References. The First Doctor once proclaimed that men breed men and donkeys breed donkeys. The Mona Lisa claimed that her model farted like a donkey. The mule from Muffin the Mule was once described as a wooden donkey. Oh dear. A thespian is like a lesbian but louder? Did I misgender the first narrator in one of the stories? You might have. Men breed men. I know. I don't get what the Doctor means by that either. No, I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. Okay, let's get back to the wheel, shall we? Dr. Wonk. Look, you can't expect a Time Lord to understand human procreation after 5 years of not asking. That is very true. Admittedly, very true. Cookie Boy 2005 angrily sucks a Werther's original cat. Oh dear. Alright, let's go again, shall we? Ooh. Isn't this from fucking Fortnite? I feel like this is from Fortnite. I have a feeling this is from Fortnite. And if so, like, why? Play chug jug. Yeah, Fortnite, we're about to get down. Oh, I'm too old, guys. I'm 30 something. Come on. Alright. I've got it up. I've got the TardisWiki up. There you go. 10 kills on the blue board right now. Just blew up Tomato Town. I don't know what that fucking means. What does that mean? Is that good? Is it good? Or is it bad? Oh. Loot Lake was a location in Reality Zero, located above the vault. An illustration of the vault's location beneath Loot Lake was on the 12th Doctor's chalkboard in his TARDIS control room, when it was located in a museum in Reality Zero. Loot Lake is a major location from Fortnite. It was depicted on the 12th Doctor's chalkboard in Doctor Who Museum. At the chalkboard asset used on the map, used originally created for a Fortnite storyline located in Loot Lake and the Vault. What the fuck? I revived him, now we're heading south, but I hate you all. Anyway. This is canon, by the way. I hate that this is canon, but the Susan Diaries probably isn't. That's a fucking tragedy, if you ask me. Alright, let's spin another one. Do you like how all the energy just kind of left the room there? Yeah! My favorite! Let's release my rage on a random page. Inhuman! Dent Harper once had to escape the Inhuman from Ostrokovic Milonides. Prose, the Joy Device. Alright, let's spin the wheel again. That's perfect. Wasn't that perfect? There we go. There we go. Ain't that the best? I think that's a good result, personally. I found it. Here we go. French Dalek was a framed art print exclusively sold by Forbidden Planet, released on 22nd of March 2013 by GBI. Of course, if you have a universal translator or if you speak French, you can read this no problem. But for those of you who don't, the print just says, "We are the masters of the world, you will be exterminated." A war poster issued by the Daleks, the French-speaking humans, asserts that the Daleks are now the masters of the world, and they will be exterminated. The poster depicts Daleks on a battlefield. Incongruously for the setting, this poster depicts the Silver Daleks using Dalek War Machine casings, which was the prior iteration of casings used by the Skaro City Daleks in the Daleks. Oh, that's a bit scandalous, isn't it? I don't think we can fucking forgive that, can we, people? Oh, fair enough. This is one of the very few works of DW fiction known to be published in another language. The comic adaptation of Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, Daleks Invasion a la Tierra Anno 2150, was published in Spanish, and the Iris Wildtime short story Amsia Gwilt was published in Welsh. The war poster is evidently meant to be as if it was plucked straight from the 2150s Dalek invasion of Earth, as first seen in the Dalek invasion of Earth. Ah. Someone I had better been fired for that one. Oh no. Ornaments were items displayed for their aesthetic appeal. Lawns could be decorated with ornaments. I know, again, what the fuck? I did not know that lawns could be decorated with ornaments. Oh dear. Alright, let's get the wheel up and take a looky look. A little looky look. A little looky look. Alright. Bam! Let's get a real spin this time. Let's see what it lands on. Yeah. TARDIS revocation. Ooh. I wonder what that's going to be. Let's find out. Because there's only one way to find out, and that's to look it up. Okay. Lots of randomness today. I know what you mean, man. Because a TARDIS was, at a conceptual level, a license to move, it was possible for one to be revoked by a Time Lord's spoken authority, rendering it unusable. In or prior to their 12th incarnation, another member of their kind, described by Auteur as an arrogant peacock, revoked their ship. The goddess of Gendar would later question who had given him the right, and what authority he had to ground her like a disobedient child. The debilitated ship was locked in the form of the Shadow Spire, a sentient, malicious tower located in the pocket of unreality, which they had turned on Godfather Auteur. Faction Paradox used it as his and Auteur, who had previously disliked the sight of the ship in its sick state, learned to love the Spire. In one version of history, the 7th Doctor revoked the Minister of Chance's TARDIS to force its owner to stay on Santony and face himself. After the Minister unleashed his full power and massacred the entire Canesian army in retaliation for the Canesian General Tanis ordering the death of his companion Sala. Although the Minister had let his TARDIS quite a distance away from the confrontation in the form of a tree, the revocation was heralded by a crack of lightning, a white flash, and a clearly audible sound similar to that of a TARDIS materializing, but louder and briefer. Unable to reactivate his ship, the Minister's next incarnation would ultimately fall into the habit of traveling on foot through the Frost Bridge. Huh. Well, that's how he travels around, I guess. Because we learned that before. I don't know if you remember we last learned that before, but we learned that before. I think it was on Tardis Wiki Roulette, or was it on the other one that we do? Doesn't the Minister use the formula for doors? I think so, yeah. I don't know. Fucking know. I have no idea who the Minister of Chance is. I just know that they're Stephen Fry, aren't they? Sort of. And they're like the Doctor, but also not the Doctor. I don't know. I barely know anything. I barely know my own name. I believe the Frost Bridge is related to that. Oh, okay. What is next? Them's the rules. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. More random pages, yes. It's Alan. Alan Bromley, born Alan James Bromley on September 1915, died on 1995, directed the Doctor Who television stories The Time Warrior and Nightmare on Eden. Oh, fuck. I thought he was a character. I didn't realise he was a real dude who's dead. That was bad taste, saying that he was the wheel. Oh, no. What a fuck up, guys. Oh, no. Alright, crew members worked alongside him on the latter story, faced some difficulty communicating with him on set because he was very set in his ways. Bromley became overcome with stress and resigned midway through production of the serial. Instead of finding a replacement for Bromley, producer Graham Williams decided to direct the rest of the serial himself. Huh. Interesting. Alright, let's look at another page. Let's spin the wheel again. I think we need to spin our Alan. I think that's the way to go. Yeah! Oh my god, yeah! Sick! Love it! Love everything about it! Yeah! So good. So good. Oh. Oh my god, they're TV canon as well. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, Weyland-Yutani Corporation. The Weyland-Yutani Corporation was a conglomerate in the 21st and 22nd centuries. In Paradise Towers, more specifically in the Kang's Lair, there were old repainted barrels that clearly showed the remnants of the Weyland-Yutani logo. In a human colony on Vulcan in the 22nd century, in the governor's office, there was a communications device branded with the Weyland-Yutani logo. The Weyland-Yutani Corporation originated in the Alien franchise as the more ominous and mysterious antagonists alongside the Xenomorphs. While the films have been mentioned to exist in universe, the Xenomorphs have been accepted by some as a real species within the DWU, with some stories such as TV... Dalek! Where is there a Xenomorph in Dalek? What? 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 Hang on, hold the fucking phone. I need to find this. Hold on. I need to know now. I need this knowledge. It's important. I'm looking now. It'll probably be on the Xenomorphs page. Should I just go on the Xenomorphs page? Then I can do that, I guess. Okay, I need to know. Fuck the game. I need to know. You may as well just read Xenomorph now. Aha! Interesting you should say that. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna. Fuck it. Yeah. Okay. God. Wow. That's crazy. Xenomorphs were a parasitic species encountered by humanity from the 21st century onwards. They evidently had several stages. I just had a really horrible thought, but I'll get to it. Xenomorphs went through a life cycle where they grew up as egg-like ovomorphs before progressing to a chestburster state. And then they would mature into their final slender black form. Xenomorphs secreted a resin which when hardened looked knobbly black and had unpleasant organic shapes and orifices and was very ugly and retro, according to Simon Friedison. In 2018, deep within Henry Van Statten's vault, part of his collection was an ovomorph. Oh my god. It's fun. When the Ninth Doctor and Rose Tyler materialized the TARDIS in the vault and exited the box, they passed the Overmore, which was to their right. The duo and Adam Mitchell passed it by again when they left the vault after the self-annihilation of the Dalek, nicknamed Metaltron. In 2379, in Crozier's laboratory, the Sixth Doctor once observed that what appeared to be an infant chestburster xenomorph within a look of revulsion. In 2562, Heidi Maputo used a saying, when the xenomorph hits the ventilation shafts. In 2982, a group of students used xenomorph resin to decorate the surfaces of their block of flats, which disgusted Simon Friedison. What is this? Is this a Doctor Who novel or an Alien novel? So vile a sin. The FP story basically has the xenomorphs be inspired by another species. Said species is very similar to xenomorphs though. Okay. What the fuck? Hang on. That's not a xenomorph. That's just an alien with like a head shaped like a xenomorph. That's not a xenomorph. I know my xenomorphs. Xenomorphs are a good friend of mine, and that, sir, is not a xenomorph. Wish I could zoom in a little closer. It's as close as it goes, though. But yeah, that's no, sir. No, sir. The other two, this one and this one, absolutely, that's a fucking egg and a chestburster. This, no. This is pushing it. Oh, for fuck's sake, guys. During the War in Heaven, Agent A once wrote a report about creatures born from life spores. These life spores were believed by A to either be the enemy or an aspect thereof. They could form into creatures which could burst out of the chests of humans and had an increasingly complex retroactive history. Other references, notably K9 Mark II, used the term xenomorph more loosely to apply to other alien beings, and accordingly once remembered rapid movement in the opposite direction of the xenomorph in references to a Jixen warrior. Alright, I'll read some of this stuff in a second. I wouldn't mind the IP editor anywhere near as much if I followed policy and actually talked. K9 lore, this is peak. It is absolutely peak, yes. The peakiest of peaks. The peaks of Everest, if you will. Okay. Facehuggers on a couple of occasions were identified as a fictional alien life form originating from a horror movie simply titled Alien, which to Bernice Summerfield, a native of 25th century Earth or the 26th century, was ancient. There were other films in the series, including a sequel, An Alien vs. Predator, in 1994 in Mexico City. After Ace was hospitalized, Bernice Summerfield visited her and thought that the respirator attached to Ace clung to her like a facehugger. Huh. Weird. In the mid-2000s, Toshiko Sato compared the hole in the skeleton of a 19th century Holland to that bit in Alien where that thing bursts out of John Hurt. In the mid-2010s, Professor Albert Smythe noticed a resemblance between the dream crab's method of consuming their victims' brains and latching onto their face, and the face huggers. In the real world, the science fiction horror films Aliens and Alien vs. Predator being part of the Alien franchise, Alien, feature xenomorphs, while DWU sources, which reference the movies, never directly mention the xenomorphs by name. They are easily identifiable through contextual clues. Furthermore, some sources go so far as to reference facehuggers, the name given to xenomorphs in the first stage of their life cycles, such as in the 1993 VNA novel The Left-Handed Hummingbird, the 2006 thoughtful television story Greeks Bearing Gifts, and the 2014 television story Last Christmas. Although the DWU and Alien have never had an official crossover acknowledged by the Alien side of the equation, an actual chestburster prop was clearly visible in the television story Mind Warp, hinting at a shared universe as early as 1986. The Xenomorphs and the Weyland-Yutani Corporation continue to have cameos in DWU fiction for years to come. A more narratively relevant crossover came in the form of the annotated autopsy of Agent A, which, although it did not mention the name Xenomorph specifically, established that the Xenomorphs were a fictional depiction of the life spores after the latter became the enemy and inserted themselves into the metaphor of Earth's popular culture. The life spores were described in such a way that they were immediately recognizable to anyone familiar enough with the Alien franchise, while also having varying differences, such as their reproductive cycles being different. Interestingly, this meant that despite the annotated autopsy of Agent A featuring a species that was ostensibly the Xenomorphs, it was ironically more in continuity with stories that treated creatures from the alien species as wholly fictional. Oh. Well, damn. It's pretty crazy. read the behind the scenes section. I did just now. It was pretty good. I learned some fun stuff. I think we should probably spin the wheel now, though, guys. Yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? A little bit of wheel spinning. Let's do that real quick. Hey, who doesn't love a bit of wheel, hey? Oh, Christmas wheel! Love a bit of Christmas wheel up here. The Mimic Octopus! How very exciting. We're going to see where this one takes us. What kind of journey it takes us on. Who knows? Who dares to dream? I certainly don't either. I don't know anything, and all my dreams are fucking dead. Mimic Octopus! The Mimic Octopus, Falmoctopus mimicus, was a species of octopus which could shape its tentacles to disguise itself as other animals and change its color using chromatophores. It was believed that the mimic octopus was the only kind of Pharmoctopus. However, there was a species classified by Maddox as Pharmopticus mimiticus. Prose, T. mimiticus, a mythology. Mimic octopi are cool. I don't know what they are, but I mean, octopuses are cool. I like the. Are they like real? It's like a real thing. That's cool. Learning things every day. Specifically this today. Hello, I'm Tony Blair, but my friends call me T-Bone. I would like to push us into an illegal war. Mimic octopus is a real. T. Mimiticus, which you skipped, is not. So close. To what? To Richard Nixon? Oh. I suppose you think that was terribly clever. It was. Well done. Party you. Tony Blair was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. According to the 8th Doctor, Blair served between Major and Clark, although by most accounts he was succeeded by Harriet Jones. In 1972, while studying at Feats College in his teenage years, with long hair and the nickname Cynthia, he met the 9th Doctor, who tried to convince him to stick with his college's drama group and not to pursue a career in politics, as it would have global implications. Woody Malcolm Smith witnessed the exchange and later documented it on Clive Finch's conspiracy website about the Doctor in early 2005. By the 21st century, Blair was Prime Minister. During the Keynesian invasion, Prime Minister Blair assured a confused President Bush that Britain had countermeasures after Tanis threatened to destroy London. He then ordered an attack by a weaponized computer virus and unit space shuttles. In November, that is just straight nationalism. Right there. Don't worry, US! Us jolly Brits have got it! You may have the most powerful military in the world, more powerful than every other country on Earth combined, but we've got the Empire! Fuck's sake. In November 2001, Blair went to York and visited several local businesses and tourist attractions. In March 2006, he went missing. Following the London UFO crash, the opposition criticised the Prime Minister for his lack of leadership. And when Harriet Jones tried to get through to the PM, she said she was hardly one of the babes. Hardly one of the babes. There you go. You see, in Doctor Who, the UK is legit the most powerful nation on. That's fucking stupid. Also, everyone does that. China does that. Fucking. Have you ever seen Korean dramas? In Korean dramas, Korea is like basically America as well. I don't know. It's just how it is. Like every country. I mean, look at how important Japan is in fucking Death Note. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see. Jack Harkness suggested, jokingly, that Tony Blair was a Rutan spy in disguise. Blair also appeared, albeit unnamed, in Death Comes the Time, where he interacts with George W. Bush, also unnamed, acting as a nod to the popularity of Cole Shaw's Bush and Blair sketches in Dead Ringers. In the Dead Ringers sketch named Tony Blair Regenerates, I have seen that, it's fucking great. As the name suggests, but Blair regenerates into the 10th Doctor. 100 more years! 100 more years! It's good. It's funny. Tony Blair was a member of the Labour Party, which is referenced in the aforementioned Dead Ringers skit, but this is yet to be mentioned in any DW2. I love that. I fucking love that. Tony Blair being part of the Labour Party is of questionable canonicity. Fucking hell. That's incredible. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, molto bene. Wales should conquer England. Fuck yeah, it should. Fucking let's have a go. I think Wales and Scotland and Ireland should just like jump England. Cornwall could join in too if they wanted. Add Marvin the Martian to the wheel. Okay. He's definitely been way too authoritarian for my taste too. Oh, are you guys talking about modern day politics again? Fuck that. Oh dear. I have conflicted feelings about the Welsh. Oh dear. I just spun the wheel again behind your backs, guys. Ain't I naughty? Hang on, there you go. Whoa. Thankfully, it landed on random page, so we could just ignore that. I'm sorry that you've been on the receiving end of racism, by the way, Xavier. That's not fun. That's never fun. Bit of a bad transition here, but I have to spin the wheel now. Oh my god, really? But in general, I think the US should annex the entire world, so us annexing the UK is just derived from that. Fair. I respect that policy. I mean, we could just carpet bomb London. You know, I think that would solve a lot of problems. Fallout Real, yeah. I want to vote for the Make Fallout Real party. Which, I mean, is basically any party, because we're headed there either way, right? That's not true. We're not going to survive the nukes. Alright. Marvin the Martian. Let's take a look. Marvin the Martian was a Martian who, by some accounts, was a fictional character in a cartoon. Marvin once visited the surface of Mars with many other different variations of Martian species. Jason Kane was served with a mug that was a faithful representation of Marvin the Martian from the old Warner Brothers cartoons, with a handle on it. Although not mentioned in the DWU, Marvin the Martian is a character from Looney Tunes. In a scene in Looney Tunes, back in Action, Marvin sides with the Daleks and all other aliens who have been imprisoned in the Acme Corporation's Area 52, with two Duluks later incinerate him. The Daleks incinerate Marvin the Martian. Whoa. The movie that almost screwed over Doctor Who getting the Dalek rights. That's amazing. Oh dear, we almost had to have the Toclafane. What I don't get about that is, why not just use, like, the Cybermen? Why does it have to be, like, the Daleks or nothing? It's becoming increasingly depressing seeing the transphobia in the world. I know. 100%. It's very depressing. Alright. So, let's take a look at the next one. Right. Spin! Oh no! Oh no! Metafiction. Haha! I meant to do that as a clever meta commentary on being an incompetent live streamer. Okay? I'm actually really clever, you see. Anyway, metafiction. Let's look up the metafiction article. Let's do that. Why don't we? Why don't we just do that right now? Yes. Why don't we just do that right now? Metafiction. Metafiction was a concept that described characters and objects that went beyond fictional bounds. Things that were meaty fictional can also be referred to as meat, including meat worlds. Universes in 10,000 Dawns were usually more partial to meat fictional activity, although varied in forms of how meat fictional they were. Some characteristics of meat fictional Dawns included them being genre-based, black and white, the skipping of plot beats to get to a climax, and characters' awareness of themselves as characters. Notably, 10,000 Dawns were not regarded as the 10,000 Dawns for meat reasons. In what she later described as a meat-fictional situation set up by the auteur, Graylin Sives was deegged into a baby and grew up all over again to get her memories back. Ostara called the Interdimensional Copyright Office meat-fictional freaks when the Mad Hatter warned them about referencing a version of Alice in Wonderland they didn't have the rights to. The March Hare returned the insult to Ostara, who was the story's author. Graylin Sives theorized that the Noodle Man was a meat-fictional thing, stating that she and Archimedes von Anebre had done meat-fictional stuff before, and that she had meat-fictional stuff in her family tree. She noted that she didn't think the Dawns she was in was that meat-fictional, noting that Count Dracula had not known that she was a character. Shona Daniels echoed this theory, stating that the Noodle Man stole their gimmick, from which they rampaged the 10,000 Dawns to make a name for themselves, only with the meat fiction levels turned like way up. Archimedes van Annabelle called him a meat fictional cuckoo. There we go. Another article. Haha. Next article. Ho ho. We are cooking with gas today, people. Meat fiction! Who doesn't love a tasty piece of meat fiction? Okay. Time to spin the wheel again. Don't you love that cartoon chase music? I know I do. Oh ho ho! Ho ho ho! Ho ho ho! Ho 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 ho! The noodle incident. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Meat fiction! Who doesn't love a nice bit of meat fiction? It's really meat textural there. Oh dear. Okay, time to look away and use my hairdryer. Oh, alright. The noodle incident. Pros. Taste the noodles of Dracula was a meat-fictional event caused by the insertion of the Noodle Man into every book in the Plume Coteries library by the most canon man. The Noodle Man ravaged the cosmos, attempting to sell his own book series. The results of this incident included Wonderland turning into noodles, the nuclear decimation of York, and the ruining of multiple Archibald Press vignettes. Despite this, the Noodle Man was eventually banished, meaning events were largely able to repair themselves. Pros. Taste the noodles of Dracula. History. The incident began when the most canon man emerged from a pile of nothing in the Plume Coteries diary. In front of Callum, Marista, Koloff, and Rich, and introduced himself as their new cultural representative. He vanished after saying, "Introducing Noodle." After the ordeal, the group noticed that every book in the entire library had been given noodle-related titles. Following from this, the changes made to these books seem to have created the Noodle Man. And his backstory within the narrative, particularly within the Noodle Man book series and associated Archbeetle Press books. The narrative portrayed his friendship with his sidekick Butterboy and defeat at the hands of Eldun, who in the narrative of these stories banished him from his home universe and sent him on a quest of revenge. He then inserted himself into the narrative of the 10,000 Dawns as a 5th addition to the odd other dimensional pickup squad. Oops. Influencing the team to accept him, defend him, and recount exposition about him. They were those not under his influence, such as the Hooray leader, called him an unnecessary addition to the cast and a stupid contrivance. However, realizing that his Oops membership was not helping him sell books, he left. The Oops members realized he had altered their perception, although one member still craves spaghetti. The Noodle Man appeared on the bridge of the UHS Endeavour, hoping to find some new customers. He was approached by Amalia Wildstar and Captain Gemini Shadow, who may have swapped bodies as a result of the incident. Wildstar offered to buy his book, so he took the money and disappeared, then reappeared on the other side of the bridge to sell more books. Oh dear. He continued to ravage and rave across Cosmic Untold, going through Abraifra Janus Colifia on his ship Kalika and stopping it from crashing as originally written by the story's author, putting it back on course to Wonderland. There, the Mad Hatter was adamant about setting the Book of the Noodles and the Men. Abraya refused to buy it, denying the Noodle Man's existence as well as the situation's canonicity, and leaving in Katiuka before the Noodle Man left Wonderland into Noodles. A somewhat strange day in York, in which Signet was tasked with transporting a thermonuclear missile, was interrupted when the Noodle Man suddenly became a member of the team, with his teammates initially thinking nothing of this, while attempting to wetly defuse the bomb. Dry appeared, claiming the missile was hers and that it would detonate in 81 seconds. They fought, with the Noodle Man charging his Kamehameha. Hang on. Kamehameha, seemingly causing numerous random events. Olivia was turned into pasta with tomato sauce while remaining conscious. Zanara Passam clipped into the floor. Jason's head rotated 360 reveals and opened to reveal a giant meatball baby, spewing Olive Garden breadsticks as he excreted furniture. Charles Zoltan received a call from King Charles, and Richard Nixon travelled from the past to warn them of the missile's threat to continuity before he turned into a fish. The mission exploded, decimating York. The calm and reasoned political discussion over this article reading is fucking peak Livestream. Oh, so I've been letting you guys just get on with it. You're fine. You're fine. You know, it's fine. The Noodle Man attempted a surgery performed by Dianus by becoming the patient. Dianus thought little of the end and simply attempted to give the Noodle Man more anesthesia despite his protests, attempts to sell his book, and announcements that it was April Fool's Day after remarking to himself about the change of medium. Dianus accidentally stabbed the Noodle Man with his scalpel, but used the opportunity to anesthetize him. The Noodle Man quickly faded away as if he was one of Dianus's flashbacks, leaving the original woman in his place. More to be added. A noodle incident is a trope outlined by online wiki TV tropes who named it after one such example in the Calvin and Hobbes comic strip. The noodle incident is something from the past that is referred to but never explained, with the implication that it's just too ludicrous for words, or perhaps too offensive for depiction, and the reality is that any explanation would fall short of audience expectations. Ironically, the noodle incident depicted in Archbeetle's Press's anthology, The Noodle Incident, is not actually an instance of said trope, as its events are shown. You missed the Sherlock Holmes bit? What Sherlock Holmes bit? Hold on. Hold on, peoples. I find. Sherlock Holmes and John Watson began to investigate the noodle incident on 1st of April 1890 when the noodle man appeared at their door. When Holmes refused to buy his book, he left. Yeah. There we go. I read the whole thing now. I hope you're happy. I'm not. Let's do one more. Yeah, I think we should do one more. And then wrap it up for today. Make sure to join the Discord if you haven't. And, yeah. Bessie, come home. Yeah. Bessie, come home. Okay. Let's see where this journey takes us. So close to Ram Ranch. One day we'll land on Ram Ranch and I'll find out what Ram Ranch actually is. We will get there one day, I promise. We felt that way about Remake for ages, and then we landed on Remake today. So you never know. You never know on Tardis Wiki Roulette, and that's why you keep on coming back. New video out tomorrow, by the way. The 5 Ninth Doctors is finally done, so that'll be coming out tomorrow, which is very exciting. And then on Thursday, I'm doing a Write a Doctor Who from scratch thingy. And then on Friday, I think I'm doing a voting live stream, so that should be pretty good. Join in or whatever. Oh, and we also have Chronogate, episode 1, Doctor Who Chronogate, our audio coming out on Friday as well, so that's very exciting as well. Make sure you check that out. Starring Sash Leaning as the Phase Doctor and Matt Savage as her companion. It's going to be a very exciting journey full of twists and turns and occult stuff, and there's Nazis in it, and oh my god, it's so good. Check it out, it's going to be great. Bessie Come Home was the second story in the Beyond the Doctor series, released by BBC Audio. It was written by Paul the Goat Mars and was read by Stephanie Cole. It's been many, many years since a certain yellow Edwardian roadster was a key member of personnel at UNIT. As the Doctor's personal transport, Bessie was off on the spot for many of his earthbound adventures. These were the glory days, when Bessie stood side by side with the Doctor, the Brigadier, Captain Yates, and a parade of plucky young assistants. 3 of them. Yet Bessie's remarkable life began decades earlier, at the dawn of a new century, and it has continued beyond the unit years. Indomitably she lives to tell the tale, and is only too keen to do so. Thankfully, her new owner, kind Mr. Foreman, has time enough to listen to her story. But a serpent lurks in the shadows of the scrapyard. Someone else would like to acquire Bessie, seemingly at any price. After all, she holds a great deal of information about the Doctor. Is it the Master? I feel like it's the Master. Let's see. Doesn't say. Okay. Oh, characters. Mr. Foreman. Mr. Harmer. Is Mr. Harmer the Master? Tobias Harmer? I don't know. Who even does know, really? Who knows anything, right? Who knows fuck all about anything? Alright, let's take a look at the next one, shall we? World building. Bessie was made in 1910 and she is now 111 years old, 114 years old. Bessie remarks that she did not like the Whomobile and was jealous of it. Mr. Foreman is the grandson of the man who owned the Foreman scrap business when it was based in 76 Totten's Lane. Mr. Harmer works for someone named Mr. Lehman. After her adventures with the 7th Doctor, Bessie faced her wilderness year. Author Paul Mars credited an off-the-cuff moment from his friend with the idea of giving Bessie an Ella life. Then some continuity stuff. Well, yeah, that was a fun last one to read. Wasn't quite on the level of the noodle incident, but it was pretty good. Yeah, this has been TardisWiki Wiki Roulette. So, if you had a good time, make sure to leave your appreciation with a like and a comment, and join the Discord and all that good stuff. And I will see you on Thursday for a new stream, and tomorrow when the 5 Ninth Doctors comes out, on Friday when we have a new audio out, and also Friday when we have a new stream out. God, we put a lot of content out. This is something audio. Fucking bye!